Hi everyone, good morning. Jackie Broman here for Join Jackie, Mondays at 10. I don't know what's going on with Facebook this morning, but a lot of the functionality is missing. So this looks backwards and anyway. The content will still be the same, even though I'm mirrored. Today I wanted to talk about superannuation in the context of estate planning. Super is one of our biggest assets, and it depends on what phase you're in often as to which way I would advise you to go with dealing with super as part of your estate planning. Now, when you are working still, you're in accumulation phase of your super. So you are putting down super into your super savings essentially, and it's a different phase because while you're in accumulation, you can, and you pass away while you're in that phase, a lump sum is the primary way of taking your superannuation out. For those people who are still working, and particularly where their children are young, I quite often recommend that you direct that your super be paid into your estate, because most super funds only allow a first level nomination on their nomination forms for a beneficiary. They don't say, but then what if something happens to that person first, then I want this to happen. You can't do that on your super fund. So if you pay it into your estate, then your will applies to it. And so anything that you're doing in relation to your children, whether there are minors' trusts or testamentary trusts set up, the super will get in and form part of that rather than being paid direct to them, which would and is often a problem. So that's accumulation phase. But then once you've retired and you're over the age to start accessing your super, you convert your accumulation phase into pension phase super. And so you start drawing on it. This is the time to think about amending your estate plan or what you want to do with your super. Because once you're in pension phase, you can leave a reversionary pension to your spouse. And so that might be the preference. Instead of forcing that super to come out as a lump sum when you pass away, you can just say, no, I want my wife to have this super and keep it as a pension. Or at least you can give that option as well, and then your spouse can decide for themselves. So that's why when you move from accumulation to pension phase, thinking about your super in terms of estate planning is really important. Do you want it to be considered to remain as a pension, or are you still happy for it to come out as a lump sum? The benefit of taking it as a pension is fairly obvious because there are certain tax benefits of leaving it in super and so on and so forth. However, the downside is, like I was saying before, with the beneficiary nomination, you can only have a single level. You can't then say, but then when something happens to my spouse, this is what I want to happen with it. It's then up to your spouse to make sure that they have said what needs to happen with it. And if something happens to you both together, you then have no nomination, and it can slow things down a lot in that circumstance. So it's weighing up the pros and cons, but certainly worth thinking about because, as I said at the beginning, super is quite often one of our biggest assets. So let's make sure that we don't just forget about it in the estate planning. Now, I am doing Join Jackie all the way through November. I'm going to have a break in December, and then over the Christmas break we always close, so we'll be back the second week in January, and I'll be doing Join Jackie again all the way through 2022. All these videos, although they're live, do get posted on the Facebook page as a permanent video, so you can look at that tab and go back through all the different topics. If there is a topic that you want me to cover that I haven't, please let me know. If this topic was relevant for anyone you know, please tag their name in the comments, or you can share it with them via Messenger. Otherwise, if you want to email me directly about anything, my email and all the other staff emails are all readily available on our website, so you can contact us directly. Take care, thank you very much, and I'll see you again next week.